So welcome everybody to Forgiveness Friday, where basically what we're going to be doing is a little fishbowl EPT. I'm going to be working on Karen today, and we talked a little bit about it. So for now, you can keep your mic on mute. If you want, you can put your camera on mute if it's distracting. Some people are distracted by that, and then you can just see Karen and I kind of going back and forth. Let's see here. So if you don't know what EPT is, EPT stands for Emotional Polarity Technique, and it's a totally different approach in emotional healthcare. Rather than relying on traditional talk therapy or medication, EPT relies on the science of forgiveness, and it has over 25 years of clinical success, ending all manner of pain and suffering in adults and children. So EPT resolves unresolved conflicts in your life so that you can have more peace and happiness and success. So because of this COVID outbreak, more EPT practitioners are offering their services via video or phone. So if you want to have your own session, you can message. Karen has her own business. Do you have a business name, Karen? What's your name?
Inner Peace Connections.
Oh yeah, Inner Peace Connections. With Karen and I are both practitioners. And there's practitioners all over the country. And we're going to be doing this every Friday, see what comes up, and just be practicing essentially. Yeah, my business is Open Heart Holistic Therapy. I'm in Tampa. And Karen, where are you?
South Dayton, Ohio.
Yeah, Dayton. All right. Anything else? Do you have anything else?
I don't think so.
Okay, let's go ahead
and get started.
Let's get started. Okay. So, I'll try to explain as I go along. Anybody who's popping in, you can put yourself on mute. And if you want, you can put your video on mute, just so if it's distracting, that's kind of up to you. And then you can just see Karen and I working together. So let's see. I'm like looking, 3 senior grandkids, Linda. Oh, also just FYI, there's a chat window. So if you guys want to chat, I don't know if Karen and I are really going to be able to manage the chat. So, I'll kind of look back as we probably at the end. So if anybody has any questions or anything to add, we'll just look back on that, because I'm not going to be able to do both at the same time. So if you want to chat with each other, go for it. Whatever's coming up, saying hey. Hey. All right. So let's just get started. So Karen, we are working on, what are we going to work on?
We could just talk about the my business isn't going right now, or we could talk about how sad it is that my son, he's a senior and he's missing out on so many things. Mm-hmm. And then I feel guilty because then I'm excited because I've really enjoyed him lately.
You're like, I get to spend all this time with him. Okay.
Because he's a very busy boy.
Yeah.
And I know he's getting ready to leave, and
yeah. So there's like a little bit of a benefit to the business slowing down and him not being at school.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And some of us may feel that. Okay.
And my business was going great, and it just kind of went to a halt, but I know I can get that back. So that doesn't scare me as much as kind of missing my son more than anything.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But he's missing out on so many things that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's missing out on senior trip, spring break.
All right. Well, and there might be a little bit of like your own maybe sense of missing out as well, just in your own business. It's like,
right.
It's like there's an excitement, but also sort of like, this isn't the plan. This isn't how I planned it.
Exactly.
I don't think it's how any of us planned it.
Right.
And in case you guys want to know, I'm writing all of my notes down here on my usual papers that I use. And I've got all my tools and charts sitting on the side. Magnets. You got your magnets?
I have my magnets. But you don't have to have magnets though, because the practitioner always has magnets.
Yeah, but if you can get magnets and you have them, it's way better.
Yes, it is.
It's so much better. All right, so let's do just the missing out, feeling sad about missing out. Okay. Or feeling guilty even.
Yes.
Yeah, I definitely, I feel that too. I don't know if anybody else feels the whole like, ugh, like just like a feeling of things just not going to plan.
Mm-hmm.
And on the one hand, it's nice, but on the other hand, it's disappointing. Okay.
It is. It is.
All right.
Well, my daughter just got married February 29th.
Right.
So, and I had one August 10th of past year. So it was her wedding, then the other wedding, and then Trevor, it was going to focus on him. And then that kind of went to the wayside as soon as this happened, when I was time to focus on him and him playing. He was going to finally start for lacrosse, and I was going to finally be able to give him the attention that I feel like he hasn't been getting.
Mm-hmm.
And then it went, so we're getting attention. It's just different than what I thought it would be.
Yeah. I think that's kind of the way a lot of people feel. Some people may feel
Absolutely.
like a total loss, but then other people just feel like it's just like everything has to be, it's like everything is a detour.
Yes.
All right. Okay. So things are not going as planned.
Nope.
Yeah.
That's a perfect one.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. Okay. I was just checking out the chat, see what's going on over here.
If I switch to active speaker, can you still see me? Can everybody still see me?
Yeah. Everybody
Okay,
has their own way of seeing the screen. So like we have 20 participants right now in here, just so you know.
That's awesome. Yeah. So excited.
Yeah. Okay. So you got your magnets with you. Let's do rapport.
Yes.
Squeeze our head. All right. So this is just like what we would do in a regular session, except you're doing it on yourself and I'm doing it on myself.
Okay.
All right. Breathe in. And then
this is just getting us centered to get ready to start.
Yeah.
Being able to take the session.
All right. And then the way I do muscle testing, I don't know if when you're doing distance muscle testing is this way, strong and weak. I know some people do sticky smooth, or they'll do this one where you can watch a YouTube video. I've never watched a YouTube video on how to do self muscle testing. It's just how I learned. So I like this one. It's like my finger is a tiny
Me
arm.
too. That's what I do.
All right. So let's think about things not going as planned.
Okay. No problem.
It's like the stress is about an 8. Your elation is like a 5.
Told you I was torn.
I feel that. I feel that. Stage of healing, anger. Let go is weak. 2 issues. Let's see. So like I'm under the camera, like doing my testing here. I'm looking at, okay, let's see. Self. Liver or gallbladder, resentment. So it's your resentment towards. What's your husband's name?
Larry.
Larry. Oh yeah, Larry. Your resentment towards Larry. Mm-hmm. We're getting in our emotional underwear, right?
Well, we're building a house together.
Oh. Are things going as planned?
Pretty much, yeah.
Oh, well, there you go.
Yeah, it is for the most part.
So what made you say that? As far as
I have no idea. We just had a small disagreement though a minute ago about the house. I don't think there's enough lights in the master bathroom. He said there's plenty.
Better have more than enough.
That's what I said. He said it was too late.
Okay. Let's see here. My resentment with Larry because is he working?
Yes, he is. He's working full time. He's a lineman for a power company around here.
Yeah. Oh,
so he actually is working more than he normally does. He is
I believe it.
He hasn't been home.
Oh, wow. Well, things aren't going as planned for him either. I know Larry often comes up. I feel my resentment with Larry because, do you have a because?
I think because my business was doing so great and it went to a halt and he's still able to be successful with his work.
Yeah. Okay.
A little bit of jealousy there more than anything.
You're like, you get to do everything. Before it's like, you work too much. Now it's
now you get to always go to work.
Okay. He's working, but he's also not able to like be a part of the sort of homebound everyone else.
No, he's not. And he's missing out on that a little bit.
Okay.
I think you'll be sad about it when Trevor just got accepted into ROTC.
Oh, nice.
So, and he's still waiting on the Naval Academy. So if he gets that, we know he's going to be gone. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So.
Okay.
I think he's missing out on a little bit of things.
Okay. But
if your power's out, you want Larry to go get it on for you.
Yes, absolutely. He is essential. So, because my resentment with Larry, because he's missing out.
Yes.
It's not necessarily because he's working. It's just he's
missing out on mine and Trevor's bonding, I guess.
On this mandatory family time.
We had to be forced to, but that's okay. This has been really good for families, I think.
It could, for some.
Well, that's true. For some.
All right. So let's see here. Is there an original event? Yes. Let's see. So 12 years old. All right. It's still my resentment.
Okay.
With someone else. With a female friend.
I have two sisters. Female friend.
Could be a sister. Or a female friend. No, well.
Try sisters first.
Yeah,
Try Petey.
Sister.
Petey or Christy?
Petey,
okay. It's hard telling. We always
How old
always
is
had
Petey?
resentment. Should have been probably almost 11. We're like 15 months older.
Oh, wow. You guys are really close.
Yeah.
Let's see. So why would you be resentful towards Petey?
I always thought she got more in the spotlight than I did.
Okay, so she got more than you did.
Yeah.
So you were missing out.
We had this little hometown. This is the craziest thing ever. We had this little hometown newspaper. I swear that girl was in there every week. If like now, you'd probably say the guy was probably stalking her, but
you'd be like, that was terrible for an
I don't know. That's just so crazy. But
okay.
I just remember her feeling like Petey was always in it. I don't know why. She might have been in it 3 times.
At 11? When she was 11?
Yeah, because we played sports and stuff. And
because you would have been, what, 7th grade maybe?
Oh, is it when she was on the select soccer team?
I don't know. Was she 11?
Yeah, she was 11 when she was
on that
team.
That's like 6th grade, right?
Uh-huh.
And you would have been in 7th, or you guys just 1 grade apart?
We were just 2 grades apart. So she'd have been in 5th grade.
Oh,
so
okay.
she was on. That's exactly what it is. When she was on the select team, they played for state.
And you were missing.
I wanted to play for state.
Would you guys have been on the same team? No.
No. It was barely different.
Okay.
With the ages.
Okay.
And they might have even asked me to be on it. I can't remember now.
But then you did it?
Yeah, I can't remember now.
Okay.
I feel like they asked something about it and I said no, or they thought I could do it, and then my age was that's what it was. My age was just a little bit too old.
Oh. So because it's partly I'm missing, and then but it's mostly she gets to do something I don't get to do.
Yeah.
which we also talked about a little bit with Larry.
Yeah.
So it's a little like FOMO.
I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah.
I'm like, now they'd call that FOMO.
Yes. Okay. All right. So green liver. Breathe in. Okay, and then my low self-esteem, so stomach. I mean, low self-esteem, is that something you felt at 12, or were you more annoyed?
It would have probably been low self-esteem. That's probably about the time it started, especially if I was in 7th grade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
7th is the worst.
It's junior high is a rough age.
Okay, so
I think everybody has low self-esteem in junior high.
7th grade is rough. At best, we forget it. Let's see. Low self-esteem, mine, because what would you think?
I didn't think I fit in. That's when you worry about the popular crowd and everything.
Well, and I was kind of just tested, like, I'm not good enough.
I tried out for cheerleading, and that was not something for me.
So that might have been like you feel like your sister is your younger sister is advanced.
It's better. Yeah, she's better than me in sports than me.
And I'm never. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I'm not good. Yeah, like I tried average.
It was not for me. I can't even do a cartwheel. What was I thinking? Talking about trying to fit in.
I like your effort. All right, let's see. And then red stomach.
Okay.
Right. And that's that for this. P2 trauma. Any
Okay.
idea? Did anything happen? I know you were always having some sort of
No, I had some boys pick on me a little bit at that age.
Oh, maybe it was just like puberty.
It could have been.
Your physical trauma was just like being in your body.
Do you know what is popping up in my head? This is so funny. Do you remember those old, and I came from my sister's soccer game too, those old helmets that went like this? I wore mine backwards on my dad's motorcycle for 45 minutes coming back from my sister's game. I was mortified that I passed whoever I passed. And I wore that helmet backwards.
Well, you were mortified.
I was truly mortified. I was so upset.
Let's see. Oh yeah, I'm just noting my mom's notes over here. Going numb and P2 trauma to keep from being hurt. So
Yep.
It's just, yeah. I mean, you're just again, middle school, like I said, at best.
Period.
At best, you forget it, aka trauma 2. And for anyone who's listening, P1 and P2 trauma come from Basil van der Kolk and his book, The Body Keeps the Score, where phase 1 is essentially your left brain is under functioning and your right brain is running the show. So you're on like hyperdrive, fight or flight mode, and P2 trauma is both sides are under functioning, and basically you're in freeze mode. So you would be dissociating, possibly robotic, just trying to avoid, like in the chat window, just trying to avoid being hurt. So P2. That's where we're at. So what that essentially means is magnets on your head.
We're going to wake up the brain.
Yes, exactly. Let's see. I'm trying to get my challenge out here.
I'll tap a little bit too to get it awake.
To wake it up. Yeah, I know sometimes if you have like a headband, you can put it on. I've got a couple.
My hair's flat. I need a haircut.
I've got a couple bobby pins in here, so it sticks. And I also have this guy, my Qigong machine.
That was going to be my first purchase when my business was booming.
Ah,
It'll be there again.
It'll be there again. I know.
It'll be there again.
I think I actually have a headband over here. I'm gonna go grab it.
You're fine.
Just a second. It's right here.
She literally just left for a headband. You're cracking me up.
Huh?
You're cracking me up.
All right. And then this is totally normal, everyone.
If you say so.
All right. So, and forgiveness. So it's low self-esteem, my low self-esteem because I'm not good enough, and my resentment with Petey when you're 12 because she gets to do something you don't get to do, and your resentment with Larry because he's missing out and he gets to do something you don't get to do, which is work. Well,
okay.
We're working right now.
We are.
Okay. All right. So what I do next, everybody, is I have my little forgiveness card here, and I'm going to walk Karen through forgiveness. And here are the emotions. We got, under liver, it's resentment is our unpleasant emotion, and our more pleasant emotions are love and forgiveness and happiness. And under stomach, we got low self-esteem is our emotion, our unpleasant emotion. And our more pleasant emotions that we're going to bring in is worthy, calm, and content. And this chart, if you don't know, comes from acupuncture. And the magnet work that we do is it's like acupuncture minus needles, which is great. All right. Oh, and do you have other magnets too? So I'm going to put these, I guess I'll put these on the floor for myself.
I just have 2 for right now.
Yeah, okay. Or sometimes I just hold them. Right, red, left, green, if you have your magnets. And then I'll just hang out with my Qigong machine on my back. All right. All right, I forgive, so repeat after me, and anybody else, repeat for yourself. You might enjoy it. Okay, I forgive myself for believing.
I forgive myself for believing.
I have to hold on to resentment when I'm 12.
I have to hold on to resentment when I'm 12.
Towards Petey.
Because
she gets to do something I don't get to do.
Because she gets to do something that I don't get to do.
I forgive myself for believing.
I forgive myself for believing.
I have to hold on. I forgive myself for believing this resentment.
I forgive myself for believing that this resentment
will always be this way.
Will always be this way.
As long as someone else gets to do something and I don't.
As long as someone else gets to do something that I don't. Nobody likes FOMO, Paige.
I know. I'm feeling it. I forgive myself for believing.
I forgive myself for believing.
This resentment.
And
low self-esteem was my fault.
And low self-esteem was my fault.
Because I'm not good enough.
Because I'm not good enough.
To get to do something.
That
I really wanted to do. Right. I forgive myself. For every time I hurt someone's feelings. When I get to do something they don't get to do. And they feel resentful. Or low self-esteem. Breathe. I forgive myself for believing. That this resentment can't change. Until Petey and I are on the same playing field.
Until Petey and I are on the same playing field.
Yeah. I forgive myself for believing.
I forgive myself for believing.
I have to hold on to resentment and low self-esteem.
I have to hold on to resentment and low self-esteem.
As long as things are not going as planned.
As long as things are not going as planned.
Yeah. I forgive myself for believing.
I forgive myself for believing.
PD has to change.
PD has to change.
And we have to be equal.
And we have to be equal.
Before I can let go of this resentment.
Before I can let go of this resentment.
And low self-esteem.
And low self-esteem.
I forgive myself for anything I did.
I forgive myself for anything that I did.
That caused this resentment and low self-esteem.
That caused this resentment and low self-esteem.
I forgive myself for believing.
I forgive myself for believing.
When things don't go as planned.
When things don't go as planned.
That means I'm not good enough.
That means I'm not good enough.
Or I lose out on something really important.
Or that I lose out on something very important.
Yeah. I forgive myself for believing.
I forgive myself for believing.
That when things are not going as planned.
That when things are not going as planned.
Then I have to feel resentment and low self-esteem.
When things are not going as planned, I have to feel resentment and low self-esteem.
Until we get back on plan.
That's it. Until we get back on the same playing field.
Yeah.
That was it right there, Paige.
Until we get back on the plan. Yeah. I forgive myself for believing.
I forgive myself for believing.
I have to hold on to this resentment and low self-esteem.
I have to hold on to this resentment and low self-esteem.
Until we're back on plan.
Until we're back on plan.
And breathe. I forgive myself for believing.
I forgive myself for believing.
I ever had any control over the plan.
That I ever had any control over the plan.
I forgive myself for believing.
I forgive myself for believing.
I have to blame someone else.
I have to blame someone else.
For the resentment and low self-esteem I feel.
For the resentment and low self-esteem that I feel.
When the plan isn't happening the way I planned.
When the plan isn't happening the way I wanted it to.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and it's like anyone or anything, really. Because I'm thinking it could be also a pandemic ruining your plan. But let's be real. This is not the first time in any of our lives when our plans have gone awry.
No, it hasn't.
Right? Okay.
Exactly.
I forgive myself for believing.
I forgive myself for believing.
I can't let go of my own plan.
I can't let go of my own plan.
Until, I forgive myself for believing.
I forgive myself for believing.
I can't feel love, forgiveness, and happiness.
I can't feel love, forgiveness, and happiness.
Worthy, calm, and content.
Worthy, calm, and content.
Unless I'm on plan.
Unless I'm on plan.
Yeah, I'm great. I forgive myself for believing.
I forgive myself for believing.
The only way to feel worthy, calm, and content.
The only way to feel worthy, calm, and content.
Love, forgiveness, and happiness.
Of forgiveness and happiness.
Is when I get to do what I want to do.
Is when I get to do I want to do.
And everything goes according to plan.
And everything goes according to plan.
I forgive PD.
I forgive PD.
For hurting my feelings.
For hurting my feelings.
When she got to do something I didn't get to do.
When she got to do something I didn't get to do.
I forgive myself for believing.
I forgive myself for believing.
Or I forgive PD.
I forgive PD.
For hurting my feelings.
For hurting my feelings.
When she brought up this low self-esteem.
When she brought up my low self-esteem.
And feelings of not being good enough.
And feelings of not being good enough.
Yeah. I forgive myself for believing.
I forgive myself for believing.
I can only feel good enough.
I can only feel good enough.
When I get to do what I want.
When I get to do what I want.
And things go as planned.
And things goes as planned.
Right. I'm feeling better already.
Me too.
Man. Let's see here. I forgive Larry.
I forgive Larry.
For hurting my feelings.
For hurting my feelings.
When he misses out.
When he misses out.
And gets to do something and gets to work and I don't.
And gets to work and I don't.
I guess he gets to work more.
Yeah.
You guys have totally different shops, though.
Well, I think too. Okay, I'll say this one. Can I say this one?
Yeah, go for it.
I forgive myself for believing that Larry's job is more important than my EPT business.
Oh, that's good. I like that.
Because he's essential and I'm not. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of a good one. Yeah, I forgive. It's almost like I forgive myself for believing.
I forgive myself for believing
that when things don't go as planned.
That when things don't go as planned.
That means someone else is more important and I'm less important.
That means someone else is more important and I'm less important.
Or someone else's plan is more important.
Or someone else's plan is more important. There you go.
Yeah, and I'm not as important. Yep, that's the low self-esteem.
And I'm not as important.
Yeah, that's the low self-esteem.
You're reading your chats. Your mom has a few.
I know. I know.
Free her from the limit her mind puts on the situation.
Oh, she's talking about the magnets.
Yeah.
all the all right. I give PD permission to forgive me.
I give PD permission to forgive me.
For blaming her.
For blaming her.
For my resentment and low self-esteem.
For my resentment and low self-esteem.
When she got to do something I didn't get to do.
When she got to do something I didn't get to do.
And she got to do her plan and I didn't get to do my plan.
And she got to do her plan and I didn't get to do my plan.
Yeah. I give PD permission to forgive me.
I give PD permission to forgive me.
For blaming her.
For blaming her.
How about I give PD permission to forgive me.
I give PD permission to forgive me.
When I want her to feel the same resentment and low self-esteem.
Because I want her to feel the same resentment and low self-esteem.
When I get to do something she doesn't get to do.
When I get to do something she doesn't get to do.
Yeah.
That's sister love for you.
Let's see. I love and accept myself even when I'm afraid.
I love and accept myself even when I'm afraid.
The only way to feel worthy, calm, and content.
The only way to feel worthy, calm, and content.
Love, forgiveness, and happiness.
Love, forgiveness, and happiness.
Is things going to plan.
Is things going to plan.
And breathe. I love and accept myself even when I'm afraid.
I love and accept myself even when I'm afraid.
This resentment and low self-esteem.
This resentment and low self-esteem.
Can't go away.
Can't go away.
Until we're back to plan.
Until we're back to plan.
Yeah. Yeah. I love and accept myself even when I'm afraid.
I love and accept myself even when I'm afraid.
I'll never be as good as Petey.
I'll never be as good as Petey.
Or as essential as Larry.
Or as essential as Larry.
Yeah. Every. I love and accept myself even when I'm afraid.
I love and accept myself even when I'm afraid.
I'll still feel resentment.
I'll still feel resentment.
And low self-esteem.
And low self-esteem.
When I don't get to do my plan.
When I don't get to do my plan.
Or when someone gets to do something and I don't.
When someone else gets to do something and I don't.
Yeah.
Do you think it's because their plan is more important than mine? Like, do you think I think that?
Or that they're better than you?
Yeah, that's probably more it.
So I forgive myself for believing.
I forgive myself for believing.
That PD, that I have to hold on to resentment and low self-esteem.
That I have to hold on to resentment and low self-esteem.
Because I feel like Larry and PD are better than me.
Because I feel like Larry and PD are better than me.
I forgive myself for believing.
I forgive myself for believing.
Larry and PD are better than me.
That PD and Larry are better than me.
And their plans are more important.
Their plans are more important than mine.
And more essential.
And more essential.
That's the word, right? Sherry's got one for you. I forgive myself for believing.
I forgive myself for believing.
I'm hurtful to my son now.
I'm hurtful to my son now.
Because I got to be a senior as planned.
Because I got to be a senior as planned.
Yeah. Yeah, you could throw this stuff in for Trevor too.
Absolutely.
I forgive. Yeah, well, but again, that's the elation a little bit. I forgive myself for believing.
I forgive myself for believing.
How about I give Trevor permission to forgive me?
I give Trevor permission to forgive me.
Because I get to have my plan of hanging out with him more.
Because I get to have my plan of hanging out with him more.
And he doesn't get to have his plan of
and he doesn't get to have his plan of hanging out with his buddies.
Yeah, and being a senior, like normal,
stuff,
yeah.
Senior stuff.
Because, yeah.
Poor fella.
I know. I'm looking at the comments here. I love and accept myself even when I'm afraid.
I love and accept myself even when I'm afraid.
Trevor's going to hold resentment and low self-esteem.
Trevor's going to hold resentment and low self-esteem.
Because things haven't gone to plan.
Because things hasn't gone to plan.
Yeah, right. I love and accept myself even when I'm afraid.
I love and accept myself even when I'm afraid.
Things not going to plan.
Things not going to plan.
I'm trying to think. It's like, can sometimes be, it's like, I love and accept myself even when I'm afraid. Things not going to plan. It was like it is more enjoyable. Or
I forgive myself for believing that even though things are not going to plan, I'm finding more joy in this new plan.
Oh, there you go. That's nice. Or without this resentment and low self-esteem.
Without this resentment and low self-esteem.
I can feel worthy, calm, and content.
I can feel worthy, calm, and content.
Love, forgiveness, and happiness.
Love, forgiveness, and happiness.
In a new plan.
In the new plan.
Or in a non-plan.
Or in a non-plan.
Yeah. Let's see. Without this resentment and low self-esteem. Without this resentment.
Without this resentment.
With PD.
With PD.
I can feel worthy, calm, and content.
I can feel worthy, calm, and content.
Love, forgiveness, and happiness.
Love, forgiveness, and happiness.
Enjoying her doing what she wants to do.
Enjoying what she wants to do.
Yeah, breathe. Without this resentment.
Without this resentment.
I am free.
I am free.
To let go of guilt.
Let go of this guilt.
When I can let go of this guilt and enjoy time with my son.
And enjoy time with my son.
Even though it wasn't either of our plan.
Even though it wasn't either one of our plans.
Yeah, right. Without this resentment.
Without this resentment.
I am free.
I am free.
To feel love, forgiveness, and happiness.
To feel love, forgiveness, and happiness.
Letting Larry be essential right now.
Letting Larry be essential right now.
While I get to hang out with Trevor.
While I get to hang out with Trevor.
Yeah, and not feel guilty.
And not feel guilty.
Yeah, because I'm like, the guilt is, I mean, it's not your fault. This
No.
whole situation.
Heck no, he's cooking for me and everything.
Oh, great. That's nice.
Sherry said we should give Trevor permission to feel more joy in his new plan.
Yeah.
So I give Trevor permission to feel more joy in his new plan, and however it's going to be, whether he gets to go back to school or not.
Yeah. Without this pattern, I am free.
Without this pattern, I am free.
To feel love, forgiveness, and happiness.
To feel love, forgiveness, and happiness.
Worthy, calm, and content.
Worthy, calm, and content.
Wherever the plan.
Wherever the plan.
Or how about it, worthy, calm, and content in God's timing, God's plan.
In God's timing and his plan.
Yeah. That I, have virtually no control over right now.
Maybe I need to accept that I don't have control over it.
Yeah. Or, without this pattern, I am free.
Without this pattern, I am free.
To feel good enough.
To feel good enough.
Engaging with God's plan.
Engaging with God's plan.
Without needing to control it. How about that?
Ooh.
And
without me needing to control it.
Yeah, right? It's like we're in it and we can engage and we can make choices, but we also can't control it.
Absolutely. Whoa, that's a good one for everybody.
Yeah. Without this pattern, I am free.
Without this pattern, I am free.
To feel worthy, calm, and content.
To feel worthy, calm, and content.
Trusting as things go.
Trusting as things go.
And letting things be.
And letting things be.
And enjoying the moment.
And enjoying a moment.
And know that that's good enough for now.
And know that that's good enough for right now.
Yeah, and breathe. Without this pattern, I am free.
Without this pattern, I am free.
To slow down.
To slow down.
And enjoy the moment.
And enjoy the moment.
Because I'm not a 7th grader anymore.
Because I'm not a 7th grader anymore.
Yeah. Breathe. Yeah, in some ways, maybe some of this stuff has brought up a lot of our like out of control middle school feelings.
Seriously.
Let's see.
Middle school's rough in itself.
Without this pattern,
I am free
to acknowledge and express the sadness I feel. Ooh,
to acknowledge and express the sadness that I feel
because of the lost plan I thought I would live.
Because of the lost plan that I thought I would live.
I give myself permission.
I give myself permission
to let go.
To let go.
Or to let go and go into something bigger.
Oh, to let go and go into something bigger.
Than myself.
That
gives greater opportunity. For the unknown good. To enter my life story more often. That's a side note there. In the chat window for everyone. I know, yeah. Out of control. I give myself permission. To let go. Of these out of control childhood feelings. And acknowledge where I can control as an adult. I can feel worthy, calm, and content. Love, forgiveness, and happiness. In all the unknown. And and complications.
That may or may not arise, or
that may or may not, that are here.
or that are here. There we go.
Right. Without this pattern, I am free.
Without this pattern, I am free.
To be creative.
To be creative.
And roll with the punches.
And roll with the punches.
And to have, I guess, and be flexible.
And to be flexible.
When things are thrown at me that I wasn't expecting or wasn't in the plan.
When things are thrown at me when I wasn't expecting.
Or, yeah, and that wasn't in the plan.
And that wasn't in the plan.
Yeah. I think we all need a little creativity here. That's what we're here for. Creativity.
Absolutely.
Let's see. Well, we're at 150 right now. So let's see where we at. All right.
She is checking my distress levels and my elations to see if they are better numbers now.
The elation is a 0 on the whole plan thing, so that's good.
Oh, yay.
The distress, 4.
Okay.
Stage of healing, 6. Oh, yeah. I didn't say. I'm like, what is she doing right now? I'm filling out the paper. Okay. Let go is strong, so that's good. Yeah, 6. Stage of healing, 6. So that would be light emerging.
Emerging?
Mm-hmm. So I feel pretty good. How do you feel?
I feel great.
All right. That's it. That's all.
What did everybody think?
Yeah, if you want to pop on or just go in the chat window, or if you want to leave, you can leave too. We're doing this again at 8. I'm not sure maybe Karen can work on me, or if somebody wants to volunteer. We're doing it again at 8. Because
are you recording this?
Yep. What else are we doing on a Friday night? Well, thank you. I'm going to unrecord and then we'll go for the questions. So,
okay.